Yo, what's going on, boys? Charlie here with another YouTube video, and in this video I'm going to go over how I hit this 1 to 2 on gold during London session this morning. It was around 6:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to explain to you guys my entry model and how stupid simple this entry model is, and just a couple things you got to look out for and pair it with. And yeah, this is how this trade executed this morning. I wasn't able to, unfortunately, get this on all of my accounts. Only the futures accounts I was able to get this on, and I was getting on a plane and I was walking onto the plane with my laptop entering this trade. It couldn't have been at any more worse of a time, this trade right here. And I was not able to enter on any of my other accounts. Wi-Fi was not available on that plane magically, of course. That's just my luck. So I was not able to enter on my other accounts, but I did get in at least on my futures accounts, and I posted this trade on my Instagram and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm gonna hop on the charts and I'll pretty much show you guys everything on there. All right, boys, here we are. So very basic trade here. We're gonna turn this indicator off to clear some things up here. And if we just mark out our supply zone, it's gonna be right here, right? So what exactly did I see? Let me explain my entry model first before we do anything else. And my entry model is pretty simple. We want to find trending markets here. Bullish trending markets are like this, right? And if we're bullish trending markets, when the price retraces, it only retraces for two reasons, which is the two whole reasons price moves in the first place, and it's to target liquidity and rebalance itself. Okay, so a lot of times it'll fill in imbalances within the market, or retrace and rebalance itself, or it will take draws on liquidity. Okay, and when we retrace, we take draws on liquidity like a higher low or maybe consolidation, anywhere where liquidity lies. And after we take that, we then take that is enough, opposing liquidity to take to then continue up. And of course, we pair that with a couple other things. So if we have a demand zone, you want to see a nice reaction off of that and stuff like that. When we get that nice reaction, we just continue trending up. And the whole theory of it is when you retrace, you have to take opposing liquidity, and that gives you more of a confluence of, okay, we took things in the opposing direction. Now we can continue the overall trend. Whereas normal supply and demand, you can have a demand zone, right here, but, maybe there's an imbalance right underneath you, or maybe there's a draw on liquidity right underneath you. You're taking that risk there, and a lot of times it's going to chop around, and supply and demand just has a lot lower of a win rate, in my opinion, compared to liquidity supply and demand. So that's why I trade it the way I trade it. But that's pretty much it on a really basic scale. I teach it more in depth, of course, obviously on my Discord. But when it comes to just the entry model, it's very simple, and that's pretty much it. And of course, bearish price action, it's the exact same way. It's just opposite. So gold right here, our bias on this day was bearish. Okay, we wanted to follow through with the bearish order flow that we have been seeing previously. And when we come onto this day, we see the market open up on my session around 4:30 a.m., which would be right around here. At this point in time, we're pumping sells here, and what I see price do is early London session builds this little level of consolidatory liquidity right here, right? So this is kind of an internal lower high, right? Or you could label it as a little bit of consolidation, right? Pretty much price consolidating sideways for about 30 minutes, okay? During this 30 minutes, we consolidate sideways, and then we end up dumping and displacing to the downside. When we do that, we leave a lot of liquidity resting above where that consolidation was, right? So that liquidity is resting right above that consolidation. We mark this out as liquidity, right? From here, now we are still, overly bearish. But when price is retracing, a lot of times, what is it going to retrace to, guys? It's going to retrace to rebalance itself, or retrace to go to a draw on liquidity, because it has to take opposing liquidity, right? Fill out those orders so orders can be filled in to then continue the overall trend. So when it starts to retracing, where's our draw on liquidity? Well, we have a first level draw on liquidity right here, right? And after we take that liquidity, what do we have right here? This is our basic supply zone, okay? And what do we want to see? We don't want to see a candle close inside of it, or show that, we're not really getting any selling pressure right here, and any signs that it's showing that we're going to continue to push up to maybe chase a higher draw on liquidity. You don't want to be entering on stuff like that. So we have things in order to make sure of that, which is you don't want to see a candle close inside the zone. You just want to see a wick inside the zone, which is exactly what we see right here with this setup. When you see a wick inside of this candle here, does not, again, fully go through and close. And there's three things. There's a couple other things that I tell my Discord to pay attention for that will save you a lot of losses. Those I'm not going to kind of put on this YouTube video, but it's just kind of some other simple stuff. And you want to hammer out those and learn those as much as you can. But paired with that, you're really just following this entry model. And when you enter this entry model a lot more times, you're gonna build discretion and confidence within certain setups you like more and certain setups you don't like as much and stuff like that. And that all just comes with experience. But this setup pretty much ticked all the boxes for me. And I was able to go short here and only targeted a 1 to 2, or maybe a little bit over a 1 to 2 on this account. On these futures accounts because of the consistency rules and stuff like that. I didn't want to go for some crazy risk to reward. I believe this would have hit a 1 to 3, but I think it just missed a 1 to 4. Yeah, it just missed a 1 to 4 by like a tick or two, and it ended up reversing. So that's pretty much it. That's it for this trade recap. Pretty simple trade. I will pop up proof of entry somewhere here on the video, which I have already posted that on my Instagram. I got a couple Instagram videos up as well with that. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it for this. And we got this on Friday, July 10th here. So it's been great this year. Profitability has been really, really great. I'm super thankful. It kind of seems really unreal when like last year you couldn't get any consistency or see any consistency, and it was all red nonstop, to seeing a lot more consistency in your trading. It's really crazy, and it's really insane how fast things can like slowly kind of start to form and slowly start to change. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're interested in any more in depth of this entry model, I have some other YouTube videos and stuff like that. But if you are really dedicated and actually head to toe want to learn how to execute this entry model, I do have a community where I teach everyone, and I will link that in the bio below if you're interested in that. If not, totally chill. But yeah, let me know if you guys caught this trade as well, if you skipped this trade, or if you did skip this trade and why. Definitely curious on everyone's input there. But that's pretty much it for today, boys. We'll see what next week provides. And yeah, I mean, a great way to end off the week. And yeah, any trades next week, I'll update you guys. And I'll come out with another trade recap. Or if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see all my trades on there that I post and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, bro. I appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as I possibly can. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.